It's time for a food showdown. I think this is Nouvelle support, and it's a pendulum card now, which is weird because I don't think Nouvelle has anything to do with pendulum at this point in time, does it? I'm not familiar with any. They don't have any, right? They don't have any pendulum at all, right? Okay. Hoi. I'm gonna butcher that, so I'm not gonna even try. Level 1 Dark Fairy Pendulum Effect. Pendulum Scale 8. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control a ritual monster, you can target a monster on the field. Special summon this card, then change the targeted monster's battle position. Not great, because battle position changes aren't the greatest, most impactful thing in the world, unless they're maybe on a quick effect monster. Since it doesn't flip face down even, it's even worse. So it's just basically a very conditional extender. Remember that all Nouvelle's trigger when targeted? Okay, that is good context, because I did forget that. I did forget about that. That makes it a lot better. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, fair enough. That makes it a little bit better. Yeah, that makes it not even a little bit in the context of the archetype where targeting yourself triggers your cards. Okay, that's better. That's better. That makes a whole lot more sense now too. So okay, I like that. I like that now. You can only use the first monster effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can activate one of these effects, add a level 1 ritual monster or a recipe card from your deck to your hand, banish any number of recipe cards from your grave, and if you do, special summon a Nouvelle ritual monster from your hand with a level equal to the number banished. If this card on the field is tributed and added to the extra deck face up, you can place it in your pendulum zone. Okay. This card, in the context of Nouvelles, this is a freaking nice card. This is a really nice card in the context of Nouvelle. I don't know if this makes Nouvelle good or not, but this card is powerful. Like, it does pretty much everything what you want. This card is a good normal summon because it adds, like, in case you bricked, you can normal summon this. If you can already play, you can just scale it, and then you can use it as an extender and get a free search on special summon and target your own ritual monster to trigger its effect. Or if you don't need the search, you can even use the other effect. I assume you're going to use the search effect a lot more because that's just like better a lot. But I mean, this basically can also make it so you don't need a ritual spell to special summon a ritual monster. And then on top of all that, if it's tributed for a ritual summon, it just goes back to the pendulum zone. That's a really good card. That's a really, really good card. Okay, people in chat calling it literally Vakaushi. That's not what it is, because Vakaushi is like one card starter, do everything you want in the game. That is not what this is. This is not as broken as Vakaushi, okay? But this card is very good. This card is very good, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then we have Confectionery Contest. Quick play spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Special summon a Nouvelle Pendulum monster and a Paticiel. Oh! Isn't that the Starlight thingy? The Fusion Pendulum card? Like one of the... Isn't that to this date one of the lowest value Starlights ever made? That one? God damn, okay. I mean, I guess it's kind of... It kind of makes... They look kind of similar in terms of their layout and everything. And I guess it's... You know... Chaldy Games, thank you for the bits. I won my WCQ based on your Sprite Twin Runic deck. Yo, congratulations. Well done. I'm glad the deck did you well. It's not mine, though. It wasn't I didn't make the deck. There's other people you'd have to thank for that. I was just the one who made it the farthest at the YCS, but congratulations regardless. Okay. You can only use the first and second effect with each one's parent. Special summon a Nouvelle Pendulum monster and a Paticiel Pendulum monster from hand, deck, and or extra deck, 1 to each field. Also, you cannot use monsters as material for a Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, or Link for the rest of this turn, except Nouvelle and Paticiel monsters. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your grave, then target a face-up monster on the field that gains 200 attack for each recipe card in the graveyard. This card is also really good, no? I mean, okay, the drawback is very significant. It's not like you can play it in every single deck or something, but I'm thinking about it in the context of the Nouvelle deck, because it only mentions Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, or Link. It doesn't mention Ritual. You can still tribute for Ritual, summon whatever you want. Right? It doesn't right? It doesn't specify anything. And so what you can do, I guess, is you summon, if you draw this card, you just summon this thing to your field, and then you give the fusion monster to your opponent, and then you get a free search. It's like emergency teleport, basically, for this, right? It's emergency teleport for this, plus it targets a monster on your field, which apparently, you know, is good for Nouvelles. Want to compare the price graph? Oh my god, did the card go up? No, stop! I mean, actually, it doesn't matter. It has a super rare. Who cares? It has a super rare. Paticiel. Okay, so, I mean, this has it has spiked from 2 cents to 30 cents. Kind of crazy. The Starlight, okay. The Starlight has gone up from like 7 days average 45 euros to 80, which is crazy. It's almost doubled, dude. People are crazy for that. Because let me be clear here. Both of those cards, I'm looking at both of those cards, and both of those cards are good. No questions asked. But I do not really trust in the fact that this makes Nouvelle as a whole powerful enough to compete with like top meta decks in 2023. Because I mean, you look at a lot of decks in the top meta, they have a lot of custom cards like this, right? A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh decks have very custom cards, and aren't even good, right? You look at something like Springans or whatever that hasn't even seen any competitive success, even though they have like a freaking quick play, soul charge, Rhoda, whatever. So I'd be careful with saying things like Nouvelle is going to be good because of this, only because those cards are good. I don't think it means that. But maybe it can elevate. I like this support regardless. I'm a big fan of these cards because I think the Nouvelle deck is kind of funny, and I think if they elevate the Nouvelle deck to like a deck you can maybe do well with at like locals or regionals level, I'd be down for that. I don't know how strong it's really going to end up being, but I feel like it needs exactly these types of cards to be relevant.